Hey there, so today I want to return to the wonderful world of comic books, and I want to talk about some controversy that is surrounding Mike S. Miller. Now, I find this stuff particularly fascinating because people like Mike S. Miller, there are folks out there that just wait to go after them. And when I say wait to go after them, I'm not talking about connecting them with controversy, because you can see how this might actually rub some people the wrong way. I'm talking about things like this. Just out and out calls for violence. Don't let Mike Miller show up at any Comic-Con again. If he does, F him up. Out and out calls for violence. Many of these out here. You have artists out there saying that the guy who has a Jewish wife and Jewish children, yeah, he's using anti-Semitic dog whistles. You have people out there, again, talking about a quote-unquote person of color, saying that that person of color is a massive racist, anti-LGBT, Nazi sympathizing, art stealing, forging piece of garbage. Man, isn't that lovely? Why did that transpire? Well, you already have the Comicsgate label. People are already primed and labeled. And this just basically gave them a reason. I mean, when you think about this reason too, well, let's ask Zach. Hey, Zach, what do you think about that? Yeah. It was a bad idea, Zach. I definitely agree. I definitely do. So anyway, what happened here? Well, we start out with a wonderful tweet here, and we're looking, of course, at the narrative from everyone's least favorite hobgoblin, not a reporter. Remember that. He'll tell you he's a hobbyist. He'll tell you that he's everything but a reporter. So Rich Johnston is telling us from Bleeding Cool. So we start out with, I have this old Spider-Man cover breakdown by Mike Ringo, and I'm thinking about finishing it, but making it into a Lone Star cover instead. Thoughts? Someone said, hey, would you be allowed to use it? He said, yep. Then they have something very prophetic to bring up. And Mike, man, I know that hindsight, it definitely pays. When you're looking back, you could say, yeah, I can see what that was. Again, let's see what Zach has to say. Yeah, I know, Zach. It was a bad idea. But yeah, I mean, hindsight is always 20/20. But still, this person says, think using it will turn into another Darwin Cook fiasco? I love Ringo. But did you think any loved ones would make a fuss about using it after SJWs go lie to them about our little quote-unquote hate group? You know it'll happen. I bet they've already seen your tweet and are working on it. Mike said, I own it. I can throw it in the trash if I want to. If it stirs up controversy, all the better. Now, it was interesting seeing the Cook name brought up too, because you get stuff like this, and you gotta love that. Mike S. Miller, one of the KK Comicsgate's shitbirds, has decided to be even more disgusting and tasteless and take a sketch from Mike Ringo, turn it into a cover for his anti-LGBTQ alt-right BS comic. Man. Now, if you know anything about Lone Star, by the way, anti-LGBT, where did that come from? Alt-right, I'm sure that they would just offer Mike already. He would just be invited in, with his diverse family and on. I'm sure that would work out. But yeah, that works out. But yeah, when you see the names brought up, again, very prophetic. So this is what Mike Miller created. You look at that cover, it looks pretty good, right? Yeah, not bad there. Now, if you go through and you look at what he based that on, if you look at what he put that on top of, Mike. Now, you know that that's going to stir up some controversy. And indeed it did. Here's Cully Hamner talking about, this is some manipulative, dishonest, self-serving BS right here, dude. If I thought you were even capable of shame, I'd say you should be ashamed of yourself. Indefensible. You have no right to claim your redrawn, repurposed image is a Ringo cover, last or not. You can see this here too. Going over, apparently you took this rough, redrew it enough to make them your own characters, added in a shitty third-rate hack background, and you're going to publish it, touting it as the last Ringo cover to be published. I seriously have no words. Well, that's not true. I have many words. So you can see what that was utilized from. You see the rough there as well, just to say, So Mike said, yeah, the background isn't great. Brick's too big. I just noticed the breakdown is by Mike. I changed the costume. Otherwise, it would be worthless. Sorry you're mad, bro. Hey, bro, shove your gaslighting BS up your ass. Mike did not draw that cover rough for you or your comic. He didn't draw those characters, and he can't consent to you touting your lame, weak, fraudulent shit as Ringo's last cover. That's low even for you. Even for you. I didn't realize you had such a low opinion of me, Cully. You realize it now, a-hole? I think everyone has. Look at that, man. You gotta have Rich Johnston jump in, too. So you see this going on for a little while here. Didn't give consent, Mike? How dare you? And then there was something even worse. Oh my gosh, look at the charge here as well. Well, you forged his name twice. Get effed. Now, what's interesting, you can go out and you can see exactly how this transpired. Mike Miller is sitting on a live stream. He basically is goofing off with a bunch of people out there, and he does this. Now, this, it almost makes it sound like he had gone out. He had created a piece of artwork and decided that he was going to repurpose it. He was going to sell it right there on the spot, had made it up in his living room. No one knew exactly what it transpired. God forbid. Again, was this a good optic? No, Mike, it definitely wasn't. But you can see exactly how that went over. Now, I wrote his name. Someone says, no, you forged it. Once in the inks and again in the credits. You're a low-life piece of shit, and I hope Matt Ringo takes you to the cleaners for it. So then, Matt, you're right, Cully. I repent. I won't use it. I know you're a man of good conscience and trust your judgment on the matter. So that comes back later. Mike says, I thought about that. Maybe that's not good there. Okay, well, Cully here says, I'm going to stand down. And of course, Mike Miller says, yeah, pinky swear, I'm telling the truth. Matt Ringo gets involved and says, hey, you don't have permission, so remove his signature from it. Mike Miller says, hey, I wouldn't do that without your approval. But, Cully, he said he was backing down. He's like, no, I'm not going to back down yet. You did it anyway. Just saying. So you can see this kind of stuff. It goes back and forth, and then, well, the controversy here. Controversy because he calls this his final solution. The final solution to a problem. But no, the SJW types, what they hear when they hear final solution coming out of Mike Miller's mouth? They hear something about, well, anti-Semitism. It's amazing. Like I say, you get this stack on. If you find this to be a problem, Like I said, not a good decision, not a good optic. But to say that the man here with a Jewish wife and Jewish kids, to say that he is an anti-Semite, this tells you there is more being stacked on. That is current year at its best. That is the SJW narrative being framed. So you can see what Mike Miller does here, and he does it in a live stream. You can basically see what transpires. And of course, after he does that, what's very interesting about that, what's very, very interesting, is people then throw fits, which I'm not going to show you. You can look this up if you want, but they throw fits about him burning it because God forbid he actually get rid of it and prove that he's going to do that. The comments on this article are really interesting too, because people are even throwing out things like, oh man, he created a crime. This was a crime and he burnt the evidence. Can we call in the FBI? No joke. That's the kind of stuff that you end up with. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing that you go from this kind of stuff being used, again, as a gateway for these kind of labels. KK Comicsgate. Going in with that, calling you anti-LGBTQ, calling you alt-right, going in and utilizing anything to say you're anti-Semitic, that you're doing anti-Semitic dog whistles, or just going out and calling for violence against somebody. I mean, one thing, again, is it a good decision? No, but equally, how is this acceptable? That's what I always wonder about these people when they go out. In their outrage, what exactly are they trying to do? Because this isn't the personification of outrage. What this is the personification of someone weaponizing the dead. They're taking someone's memory, and they're utilizing it as a bludgeon so they can, again, go out, call for violence. They can call somebody something so distasteful. I mean, it's amazing to me what I see. You know, if this is the reaction to something bad, well, this reaction definitely is on its own worse. Like, you know, when I talked to him here, yep, that was a bad idea too. I got you there, Zach. I got you. All right, so I'm adding this after the fact, but I feel that this is very important to throw in. You'll have to excuse this, butting into the continuity of the video. But apparently Mike Miller has revealed that he did not burn the picture after all. Essentially, he trolled people. He was saying, hey, you know, I'm going to get rid of it this way, but he didn't. And it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how those right thinkers out there, how they react to this, because they were throwing a fit about the man burning the picture. They were all getting up in arms saying, hey, that's not the way that you should have handled that. You know, as Zach would have said here, yep, that's a bad idea. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how those people react. Heck, we know how they'll react. It'll show that they really didn't care about this situation at all. What they cared about was being outraged, and now that'll give them another reason to be outraged because they were trolled within it. So let me know what you think about this, and of course this is probably going to add more to it. I'm sure at the time that everything airs, I'm sure that there will be even more that's come up. I mean, this kind of stuff, it's interesting to watch play out. And again, like I said, from the get-go, this was based on, yeah, I know, Zach, it was a bad idea, but, you know, it's become this thing that you want to watch and see how it plays out, because the other people out there, they can't see what a bad idea it is, the way that they're reacting either. But anyhow, you tell me what you think. And if you like this kind of content, please consider supporting the channel. Hit that sub button for sure, just past 13K. Appreciate all of you. You make this kind of stuff possible. If you like videos too, make sure that you like them. Anytime, you know, you have more runtime, you have more likes, that basically opens this stuff up to more people, and you can talk about it there. Make sure that you leave comments too. I want to know exactly what you think about this stuff. You know, you disagree with the whole situation, you definitely can. You know, like I said, it is not a good optic. I think Mike went out and tried to find a way to actually go and end the controversy. But of course, controversy doesn't end that easily. I mean, definitely not. Also, if you want to check out the links within the description, there are other ways to support the channel. You can go out, you can catch different things as well. Go check out This Umbrella Guy. You can see archive of live streams. The Umbrella Guy, you can go and catch live streams that go on. You know, there are different factions out there. Check that stuff out too. But leave your comments for me. I want to know what you think about this for sure. And as always, I want to end thanking you, because you make this stuff possible. So thank you. I mean that seriously.